The 0612651, Chuck saying what up. I landed on the planet about 1,400 hours, sun up in the sky. Welcome back. This is your man. You know who it is, man. We're back another week going live. Representing. We got a couple of different things to talk about today that were different from last week. There's always something to talk about. You know. And this week, I think we have labeled this this particular segment of live Tom and Jerry and more. So obviously, we're going to talk about Tom Brady. And how Jerry Jones is also like a cartoon character. Tom Brady, not so much. He's not as laughable as Jerry Jones. You know, let's just get into it. Tom Brady has somehow outlived his usefulness. Well, not all of the usefulness. He's basically broken the rules as far as longevity of an NFL quarterback. Belichick was anticipating this dude being retired at the very least last year. He didn't want to see that dude play past 40. And Tom's out here talking about, I don't play on 45. Bill's like, I don't know. I'm not going to say you're not, but I'm not going to say you're going to do it here. You know, let's just be real. One of these things is going to happen, in my opinion, by the next season. Tom Brady or Bill Belichick will not be a member of the New England Patriots organization by the end of next year. By the beginning of next year. That's what I'm thinking. I think either Tom is going to retire due to pressure from home or due to some internal conflict with the Patriots, or he's going to get injured on the gridiron, which is very, very likely when you're 41 years old. But it's just unprecedented for him to last this long without having any real. He had one serious leg injury back in like 2008. You know, realistically, if Tom hadn't had that one injury, he could probably challenge for the most yardage and most touchdowns of all time if he hadn't had that 1 year of being injured. You know, and he didn't come into the league as a gunslinger. It's, you know, but I think either he's going to be gone or Belichick's going to be gone. Because at the end of this year, if they don't win a Super Bowl, which I don't think they will, but if they do win a Super Bowl, I think Bill Belichick's going to take if the Kraft family or Robert Kraft is intent on keeping Tom Brady past next year, like Tom said, he ain't quitting. Belichick, I don't think Belichick's going to hitch his horse to that wagon, you know, for another year. Another couple of years and just wait for Tom before. I don't really know who they drafted as far as quarterbacks in this last year. I think they still just got Brian Hoyer as the backup. Bill Belichick's not making no long-term plans with Brian Hoyer. That's just what I think. I'm not psychic. I just pretend to be. But yeah. So I think if Tom is intent on playing after next year, and Robert Kraft's like, no, we still ain't making him go nowhere. We still gonna hold on to him. I think Bill will just bounce and not take his chances with the old ass quarterback next year. And it's some of this hinges on what happens in San Francisco. Oddly enough, you might think I'm just some crazy conspiracy theorist, but as you know, since Jim Harbaugh, the San Francisco 49ers have not had a great culture of head coaches that can run the team efficiently. You know, I think the best they've done since Harbaugh left is 5-11 or 6-10 or something like that. Either way, if Kyle Shanahan somehow has a disappointing year, and what the 49ers brass sees as what they should be doing, like if they don't finish, because everybody's looking at Jimmy G like he's the golden boy, like he's the golden child, despite the garbage weapons. So they're going to look at it that he won the last 5 games last year with garbage. They've put a couple pieces into place that can make him a little more respectable, But if they're not in playoff contention, I could see Kyle Shanahan getting fired and Bill Belichick coming over to coach Jimmy G with the 49ers next year. I could see that happen. I can see it happen. I guess we won't know until next year. But I'm telling you right now, I don't think Bill Belichick or Tom Brady will be with the Patriots next year. One of them's going to be gone. One of them's going to be gone. If both of them be gone, I'll be very surprised. But I think one of them is going to be gone. You know, I think they're tired. You know, if I was Belichick, I'd be tired of Tom too. You know, acting like them first 3 Super Bowls won because you won. No, the first 3 Super Bowls, let's be very clear. The first 3 Super Bowls that the Patriots won at the beginning of the 2000s was due to Bill Belichick's defense and special teams expertise. Tom made a couple throws here. He handed the ball off there. He didn't turn it over here. And then the defense came up and handled business against the greatest show on turf, against the Carolina Panthers, against Donovan McNabb's Eagles. And T.O. still had 140 yards and no touchdowns, but Bill Belichick's defense won the first 3 Super Bowls. Now, granted, and this is why Tom Brady is always going to be, if not the greatest quarterback, but one of the greatest. He has transformed himself into being that guy who would not make you lose into the guy that makes you win. So he started out as just being a pretty good quarterback. You know, you might, all of a sudden he's throwing Peyton Manning numbers one year. It starts like 2005, 2006, 2007. He starts becoming more confident in his arm and in the decisions he can make and the throws he can make. He starts putting up huge numbers like Peyton Manning and Drew Brees. Before, he was just more of a middling talent of a quarterback, but now he's really raised his level of expertise into expert proportions. You know, he's an elite. He is an elite quarterback of all time. You know, before when he just had 3 rings, he was just all right. With them last 2 rings, when he tossed on the Seattle Seahawks and he tossed on the Falcons, was still mad as hell about y'all. He's one of the elites in all the comeback games he's had throughout the years. But that's what that's what I'm saying is like he has withstood the test of time, and he's just basically at a place right now that no other quarterback, from what I see, has been in. He is a very, very rarefied class right now because you're at an age where you're supposed to not be that good. Belichick thinks he's psychic. See, he thought that he was going to start dipping his skills like 2 years ago, and he was going to have a reason to get rid of you. But it didn't happen like that. You know, but that's what's going on with Tom Brady and them, you know. I don't know what to say about the TB12. I don't know how effective all that is. Alex Guerrero and all this other business. I know Julian Edelman's getting suspended 4 games. I know that much. I don't know how effective your program is or any of that business. But Tom, I'm just saying. Congratulations on a great career. Regardless where it ends up, I still don't like you. I don't like you. I can't have any love for you. I mean, I don't hate you, but I don't like you either, Tom. But anyway, that's what we are with Tom Brady. I don't think that he's going to be there until he's 45. Most definitely, that's not happening. I don't believe that. But he has put the Patriots in a bit of a pickle, because they don't want to let him go. Well, Kraft don't want to let him go. Belichick doesn't want him to be there right now, period. But that's the way I see it. So moving on. I'm talking about silly ass cartoon like Jerry Jones. Jerry, he seems like he has like 30-second pause between any conscious fluid thought that he's might have coming on. Like he does he does a lot of that in this. I just wish he would just shut your mouth, because you obviously don't know what you're talking about. You're an old man trying to hold on to your 15 minutes of fame. 6 hours past the hour, dude. You need to chill out, Jerry. Jerry came out. Now, the NFL as an organization came out and said that they didn't want teams They wanted teams to put a pause on this whole anthem business because they have not quite formulated formulated it into its entirety to make it a complete kind of policy. As I said, everybody just back off on it for a while. Let us handle this. Here comes Jerry. Well, I don't care what nobody says. My players standing up. And then his punk ass son is going to say basically the same thing. If you want to be a Cowboy, you got to stand for the anthem. Man, y'all making something out of nothing, and that's why y'all are some bums. That's why your team hasn't won since 1992. You haven't been relevant since. Okay, you were relevant 2 years ago. You were relevant 2 years ago, and 2 years before that. But before that, like 12 years. Well, I'm just saying. You must be a real foolhardy person to challenge 50-something grown men on your team about what they will or will not do to be associated with your franchise or your brand. And that's just, and what kind of, I'm just thinking of what kind of message does that send out to future players who you might want on your team? What kind of loyalty is that going to breed for you, Dallas Cowboys? Let's be honest. You guys draft a lot of knuckleheads. Sometimes you draft a lot of you draft a lot of brothers. And I'm not saying all brothers. Obviously, I'm not a knucklehead. Not most days, but I'm not. But you guys, you draft a lot of personalities that have problems with authority, anyways. So I mean, what would you do if Ezekiel Elliott was like, "No, I'm going to kneel." Now, I wasn't kneeling before, but I'm going to kneel now simply because you challenged the whole team. What would you do? I'd laugh. I'd really laugh if Dak Prescott said, I think Dak said he's going to be involved in activist kind of business outside of football. That's cool, Dak, But what would you do if Dak said, I'm going to start kneeling anyways just because you said I can't? You're not gonna bench the whole team. You're not gonna cut the whole team, Jerry, talking all that shit. You're not gonna get rid of Ezekiel if Tyron Smith, dude's huge. If he says he's taking a knee, what the hell are you gonna do, Jerry? You're gonna eat your words and shut the fuck up. That's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna do. Talking about you ain't losing no damn money off of no anthem protest. And that's just one of those things. That's one of the problems. Another problem with our society is people don't know their role or their place. You're not the spokesman for the entire NFL. You might think you are. I'm tired of hearing this America's team shit about Dallas. I didn't get no damn vote. If you take it to a vote right now, the majority of Americans will not say, majority of American NFL fans will not say that the Cowboys are America's team. They kiss my ass. The modern day America's team is obviously the New England Patriots. The America's team from back in the day, we talk about blue collar, hard working, making something from nothing, is the Green Bay Packers from back in the day. Title town, a team that is owned by their own citizens in their city. That was America's team. These motherfuckers just won a couple games and they got stars on their helmets. I want to hear all this shit about Dallas' America's team. Jerry Jones is a egomaniac, obviously. He can never shut the hell up. He just likes to hear himself talk and likes to feel like he's important. You got put in check last year when you tried to get Roger Goodell fired. Your own compatriots wasn't trying to back you up on that. So you lucky they ain't came out at you right now in the papers. Man, you see, that's the kind of owner I would be. You'd be like, well, they have a microphone in front of my face. How do you feel about Jerry Jones' recent comments about his players and how they will be and concerning his players in the anthem? But I wish Jerry would just shut the fuck up. That's what I would say. If I was any owner in the NFL, we have a collective idea that everybody needs to chill out on this until we're all together on this. Because that's what they're basically saying. Everybody don't say nothing until we all can have the same cohesive plan that you're never going to make everybody happy, but it's going to do the least amount of damage so we can come together and make a policy together, work with the players, Everybody shut up. Here comes Jerry fucking up. So if I was an owner, if I was a Robert Kraft, if I was Chris Johnson, if I was even somebody I don't like, one of them, that motherfucker from the Texans or Dan Snyder, I'd be like, I wish Jerry would shut the fuck up. I'd say it right in front of the paper, just like that. Just like that. I'm a billionaire. You gonna tell me I can't tell Jerry something like that? I got billions, you got billions. He got more billions, but still, we on the same level, on the same playing field here. You know, that's my problem with Jerry Jones. You know, because it shows the ultimate sign of weakness on his part, Jerry. You know, because you were the one who wanted to look cool. This is what I'm talking about. You're an old man past your prime, trying to get your 15 minutes of fame still. You locked arms with your plays last year. I ain't mad about it. You locked arms and got on your knee with your plays last year, and in direct, in direct conflict with what your president said about calling your players SOBs, that, and the other. You know, it was a direct go to hell to the president. And now here you are, complete 180. Say, come on, it's all right, okay. Man, Jerry, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up, Jerry. You shut up. You shut up. Zip it. I want to hear what your old ass got to say. Let your son do the talking. Matter of fact, don't even let him talk. Much. You know, get somebody who doesn't have $1 billion to talk for y'all. Because y'all coming off dumb and arrogant and just blatantly just ridiculous right now. All of y'all kiss my ass, this silly ass. You know, just want to talk to be heard. Just want to talk to be heard. You know, it's foolishness. So our next person, our next topic of discussion. Let me give a shout out to the homie DJ Wee Woo from Wee Woo Entertainment. Homie out there doing his thing, getting his grind on, signing different contracts throughout the city. He's hosting weddings throughout. We're gonna have him on the show soon enough, along with the homie Corey Rasmussen, who have this wonderful coaster from. I went to his gallery, bought some coasters for my drinks, and I also bought some artwork that I'm not going to show you right now because I don't feel like doing all that right now. But we're gonna get up with him, the homie Corey Rasmussen, and the homie DJ Wee Woo soon enough. I just wanted to give y'all a shout out. And also, shout out to the homie Jerry Davis. I'm wearing the Wailea Golf Course Resort shirts. They look smooth. I look smooth. When it's hot as hell, I'm going to put that button up on. You know what the drill is. Now, moving on. We got to talk about, another shout out. I usually go out of my way not to talk about you, LeBron, but we're going to talk about LeBron, the good work he's doing in the community. LeBron just opened up a school. It's going to start out with 3rd and 4th grade, and I'm just going to say, to me, this is beyond basketball, but, people can have the MJ discussion all they want, but as far as societal impact and greater impact, global impact, I have to say, in my opinion, LeBron is greater than Jordan out of the basketball arena. In my opinion, he stands up for social activism is ridiculous. The amount of energy he puts into that, the amount of energy he puts back in his environment, his communities. LeBron, he's not to be compared with Jordan on those levels. He's more on the Ali level of things like that. As far as I'm concerned, he didn't have to give up 3 years of his livelihood like Ali did, but he's taken what the majority sometimes will consider an unpopular stance on things. And he even what some of the media members, will take as an unpopular. If you take a stance on anything, it's unpopular. So LeBron is you cannot say enough about LeBron James in that fashion, that light of things. He's a great humanitarian and a great philanthropist and a great example of what you should be as a human being. Opening up a school, and he's going to only expand it from there, 3rd and 4th grade. So I would like to commend you, LeBron James, for that. And I don't really hate on LeBron James. Enough people do that for him. Enough people do that anyway. Right? They hate on LeBron. But I'm just going to commend you right there. Now moving on, we're going to talk about AIMLESS JAMEIS Winston. I don't know what to make of this nigga, dude. Come on, dude. And come on, NFL. Y'all still falling short of your stated goals. You know, I kind of feel like society is slowly dragging your, unconscionable, sometimes blatantly blind and wrong to move along with times, man. You know, why the hell has Jameis only got 3-game suspension on this shit? This latest incident. It's not even it was an incident that happened a little over 2 years ago, but they're finally getting the media coverage that it needed and deserved. Just because somebody doesn't press charges doesn't mean you shouldn't have your business about you being a dirty bastard. This is repetitive behavior by Jameis Winston, the supposed leader. You know, he's a quarterback drafted #1 and all this, and he's all that's wrong with the protection of the patriarchy in the society, the protection of men, and the foolishness that they comport themselves with, you know, the disrespect that they show our beautiful queens, you know. Know how to act right, dude. Know how to act right. And the powers that be start putting these assholes in jail for breaking the law. Stop letting them be protected by things like the shield and all this and that. Let the person who didn't break the law, who's been trying to get in the league the right way, you know, who didn't make it because maybe Jameis is just a little bit better that day. Let that dude get a chance when you bring in the replacement. You know, you bring in somebody you got because these motherfuckers need to do jail time for shit like this. Okay? When you use your platform or you use your celebrity to just try to get away with things because you are a celebrity, you're a piece of shit to me, and you deserve the full extent of the law. Especially, you know, multiple time offender. You know, there's multiple instances. Sure, you can say these are allegations. These are alleged happening. Man, please. This is a very visible line of behavior that you see this dude. You're stealing crab legs. You got charged. You got accused of rape in college. You're hanging out with a dude who's doing time in prison right now. And it was proven he was part of a gang rape. You're hanging around with that motherfucker, and he's saying he's basically saying the exact opposite of what you're saying as far as this Uber driver, that you were the only person in the Uber driver. Wasn't nobody else in there. You know, and it's you know the ad where he said misogynistic. He's espoused misogynistic ideals. Dude, you're an idiot. Let us be very clear. I'm gonna give Jameis and his handlers a piece of advice. Don't let that motherfucker talk in front of a microphone no more. He's stupid. He says dumb things. He did not put as much time in the classroom of building his vocabulary and his personality as he did throwing a damn football. And he ain't even that damn good at throwing the football. My fantasy team would tell you that. AIMLESS James. Man, I should hope that you having a child has enlightened you somewhat to your criminal and dark tendencies. You know, I don't want anything to happen to your child. I don't want anything to happen to your child. But you need to realize that the way you have viewed women in the past is disgusting and unmanly. It's not behavior befitting of a leader. You are a coward to me, Jameis Winston, because you continually engage in things that you wouldn't do this if you were just any Joe Schmo on the street. You wouldn't engage in these kind of behaviors if you were just any regular guy working a 9 to 5. You know, if you were like a UPS driver or I don't know, a bakery, you worked in a bakery or something like that. I don't think you'd be out there just go ahead and put your hands on women like that, you know, because you knew good and well you're not protected by this. You're not protected by nothing like the NFL in that case, you know. So I mean, I don't know what to say. And so apparently so oblivious to the to the position that they have in life, and also oblivious to the precarious position that they are already in. Like I don't think Jameis is that far from getting dropped from the NFL altogether. I think if there's something that has happened like maybe a year ago and it just hasn't come out yet, when it does come out, your ass is gone. I think, and I hope. I think you should already be serving time right now. Right now. Because this kind of behavior that you're exhibiting right now leads to the behavior you see with Darren Sharper when his ass is serving his consecutive prison sentences for being a serial raping piece of shit, you know? So I already think Jameis has gotten off too easy. But I seriously hope this dude can learn from his mistake. I'm not even gonna call you this brother. I'm not gonna call you that because you ain't no brother of mine to me. You know, if you had ever put your hands on anybody I know like that, man, please. You know, so I can't even call Jameis brother, you know? I just call him Jameis. You know, you're a moron to me. And I hope you learn better in the future. You know what I'm saying? Now, moving on to the NBA for a little bit. Y'all cats, man. Y'all some old debutante, attention-seeking, crybaby. Not all of y'all. But a lot of y'all in this new generation NBA is on some real catty bitch shit. You know what I'm saying? Real catty bitch shit. You know, like, okay. I don't know who to blame more. How the fuck did that happen to my camera? Yeah, whatever. But there's a discussion going on about who's more at fault. Here's the backstory. Kevin Durant appeared on, we all know who he plays for. He appeared on CJ McCollum's podcast. I don't know the name of the podcast. Who cares? CJ McCollum plays for the Portland Trail Blazers. And apparently, throughout this interview, Kevin Durant publicly lit this dude up on his own podcast and told him that the Portland Trail Blazers had no chance of winning the championships, which was true. Blah, 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 blah. Long story short, after this podcast interview has been conducted and done for a while, CJ McCollum comes out and says online, Kevin Durant soft for going to Golden State, blah, 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 blah. Now, he didn't actually use those exact words in the podcast, you know, but now they had a fucking Twitter beef going back and forth, you know, and people are like, who you hold more at fault? I don't hold anybody at more at fault because y'all both bitches. Quit crying on Twitter. I'm not, you know, I'm a grown-ass man, okay? All right, I've had disagreements with people who I do know, who I'm cool with, who I ended up not being cool with. But I'm not gonna have a beef where I go back and forth and doing some name calling shit on Facebook or Twitter or anything else. I'm a grown ass man. I'm gonna say what I say, and you can be guaranteed that if I have that opinion online, that it's gonna be the same when I see you in your face. So CJ McCollum is a cake for not calling him soft on this podcast, which you should have done. I would have done it. Yeah, I'm telling Kevin Durant, he's sitting there right now. You soft as hell for going to Golden State. I'll tell him that right to his face right now. Right now. Online for everybody, you know, whoever happened to be viewing this shit. But Kevin Durant, you soft for even acknowledging this shit that he said on Twitter. All you had to do is like, why don't you say this while I was on your podcast? You a bitch. Click. That's it. If that is like, why you didn't even have to call him a bitch. You could just be like, why weren't you man enough to say this when I was on your podcast? Face to face. That's it. I'd have been done with it just like that. You know, but you know, it's a lot of little punk ass shit going on. You know, it has no, you know, it has no gender. When I say bitch, it has no gender. It's just a bunch of shit going on. A bunch of high school, middle school punk ass. He called me name. He doesn't like me. Shit going on, man. Y'all some grown ass millionaire men. If I'm getting paid $30 million and y'all don't give a fuck what that motherfucker over there said about me, man, fuck him. He's mad because he ain't me. And that's one thing that people need to pay attention to with Kevin Durant. This old tough guy persona he's trying to put on. If this motherfucker was so comfortable in the move that he made to Golden State, he wouldn't be so defensive when people have something to say. He'd just be like, but he ain't doing that because he knows it was a bitch move. That's why he got something to say about everybody arguing with teenagers. That's nothing. He's arguing with people who ain't even celebrities. He's arguing with like people who you know, got a break from their summer school class and shit. You know, and he beefing with them on Twitter. Man, get the fuck out of here, dude. You corny as hell. Quit arguing with fucking teenagers. You 30-year-old man, ain't you? Yeah, you about to be 30, dog. Fuck if I'm arguing with a 17, 18, 19-year-old fool. I don't have time for you. I'll beat your knucklehead ass. Shut up, man. Hey, don't argue. Quit. Cake ass shit, man. Now, going back to also in the NBA, I would like to say the Lakers are becoming more interesting to me. They are. They have some very tradable asset kind of pieces going on with the Lakers right now. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but they have a couple assets on these one-year deals that can make things interesting. Michael Beasley with LeBron James is a deal. It's kind of a deal. I'm not going to say it's a huge deal, but it's something that y'all should pay attention to. Michael Beasley's 6'10". And he averaged 13.5 points a game with no real ball distributor in New York last year. He's playing with LeBron James now, who gets everybody shots all the time. He's playing with Rajon Rondo, who gets everybody shots all the time. Now, I'm not going to say they're going to be the third best team in the West. I don't think you can say that yet. But they're not going to be no punk-ass team. They ain't going to be no I don't know, man. They could have the potential. I'm not saying they're going to upset Golden State, even be competitive with Golden State, but I don't think they're just going to be like a bump in the road for anybody, really. You know, they got a couple big bodies. JaVale McGee, like I said, his skill, his gameplay will go up playing alongside LeBron James. You know, and Michael Beasley, I think that was a very good his own shot. He can shoot from the outside. He can dunk on y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I think the Lakers are becoming more interesting as it goes on here. You know, we did talk about basketball before. I mean, not basketball, baseball before. And as we all know, I'm not a baseball guru or savant or anything. And it looks like I was not right about the Yankees catching up with the Red Sox. I'm pretty damn sure the Twins are not going to be catching up with Cleveland at all. Any stretch of the imagination. But if they do, we'll talk about them more, you know. But the Yankees, Aaron Judge is going to be out 20 to 25 games. They're going to need, well, they're not breaking their home run record no more. That's just not happening, I don't think. That's not happening. You know, I'm not a Yankees fan, so I do hope the Red Sox just continue to win because I can't stand the Yankees. I'm tired of y'all winning every damn thing. Y'all kind of like the Celtics of baseball, kind of, you know. But y'all are worse than them, actually. The Celtics kind of like y'all. Whatever, man. I don't want the Yankees to win shit. I'm tired of y'all winning shit. the Twins can't ever beat y'all in the playoffs, whether it's a 1-game playoff or 3-5, best 3 or 5. I'm tired of y'all winning shit. Stop winning shit. Anyways, that's what I got for y'all today. We're going to kick it again soon. Like I said, we're going to have the homie DJ Wee Woo on with us sooner rather than later. We're going to kick it. And we're going to get wicked. And yeah, I'm going to keep on sticking. Anyways, holler at you later. Holler at your boy. Peace! I classify as natural Negro with Nigerian blood. My first shout out goes out